You're selling a house and the buyer is pre-approved. Great, but what does that actually mean? Okay, most of the time what that means is the buyer has talked to a lender and they've done a preliminary check on the buyer's credit, income, and just general viability, because if buyers have certain types of income, if they're all 1099, then the lender has to look a little bit further into it to make sure they can qualify for the type of loan that you're going to get. So they'll have done the basic stuff. It usually doesn't mean that the buyer has gone through any type of underwriting. So underwriting is the scarier, more complex, more weighty part of the loan approval process. Okay, some lenders do underwrite early, right out of the gate, and in the real estate industry, we love that because it just takes out a lot of the guesswork. Underwriting is fact checking. Okay, so most of the time when there's a pre-approval letter, that's good, and that's usually all that any seller wants to know to kind of start the process is, hey, the buyer has talked to a lender. Oh, is it a reputable lender? Yes, it is. Great. Most sellers are willing to go start walking down the road and go through the process. But just keep in mind, pre-approval is not underwriting. Underwriting usually happens later, and underwriting is where the lender goes in and does all the fact checking. Okay, the buyer gave us all this information. This is what they said about their income and XYZ, and this is how they explained these parts of their financial disclosures. Now we have to go in and double check and make sure it's all correct and it fits the standard for the type of loan they're getting. So sometimes deals fall apart or have to be adjusted based on what comes out in the underwriting process. But usually at the stage that a buyer's making an offer, they're just pre-approved, and that's usually good enough for everyone. But keep in mind there are more detailed aspects of it that we get into a little bit later. Hey, do you have any questions or comments about what you heard just there? Hey, send us a direct message because it's always better to talk to a real estate expert before doing real estate stuff.